Hi, and welcome back to Mr. Sid Reads. Today we're going to focus on a really cool topic, how rainbows are made. Check it out. Today's book is called The Rainbow Mystery by Jennifer Dussling and illustrated by Gott. I brought along two super cool things that I'm going to show you in a little bit that have to do with the rainbow. The Rainbow Mystery. Have you ever wanted to be a detective? It's not easy, I know. I tried to solve a mystery once, a rainbow mystery. I was in the family room with my friend Mike. Mike never says much. Mom says that's why I like him, because I'm loud and Mike is quiet. I talk, he listens. We were making a fort from a big box. Mike had found the box by the house next door. He was cutting out a window and I was telling him what to do. That's when I saw them. Hundreds of little rainbows. Mike, look, I yelled. Mike looked and he almost fell over. The little rainbows danced across the wall. Wow, was all he could say. We watched the rainbows. They faded away. Then they were gone. We jumped up and ran outside. No rain, said Mike. I knew what he meant. Everyone knows rainbows come when it rains. But it wasn't raining. How could there be a rainbow without rain? I started thinking. One time I saw a rainbow in a patch of oil on the ground. I said, it wasn't raining then. We looked. There's no patch of oil anywhere. Last summer I saw a rainbow in the sprinkler. I said, was there a sprinkler nearby? No. I remember another time I saw a rainbow. My friend Kelly was wearing a glass teardrop necklace, and it makes a rainbow when the light hits it. I didn't bother to look. I knew there were no glass teardrop necklaces around. Mike and I sat down on the steps. It was late and the sun was low in the sky. We have to be detectives. We have to solve this mystery, I said, and Mike nodded. Mike came over really early the next morning and we sat like statues in the new fort. And we waited and waited. No rainbows. The next day after that, Mike came for lunch and we waited in the fort again. Still, no rainbows. Monday was rainy. Mike thought for sure we would see the little rainbows again, but the rainbows didn't come. On Tuesday, Kelly wore her teardrop necklace to school. I didn't think the necklace would help, but I didn't have any other clues. Can you make a rainbow? I asked. I can try, Kelly said, and she stood by the window and moved her necklace in the light. Look, look, I yelled. The teacher came over. He's a really nice guy. I showed him the rainbows. Terrific, Mr. Royal said. He called the other kids over. Kelly's necklace is like a prism. Aha! That's our key word. Mr. Royal told us a prism is a special piece of clear glass or plastic. It separates light into 7 rainbow colors. I have some prisms for you before I continue. So, this is an actual prism that I bought at the Academy of Science. It's triangular in shape. Isn't this cool? Look at that. And when you catch the light from the sun or from another light source, it will separate that white light into the 7 colors of the rainbow. I have another prism source. This is my crystal that I often do crystal circle with. And this too could act like a prism and separate the light into the 7 colors. A prism! Maybe a prism made the rainbows on the wall in my house. Mr. Royal didn't say anything else about prisms, but he told us stuff about rainbows and I wrote it all down. After school, I told Mike about the necklace. It's a clue, I said, but I don't know enough about prisms. Mike nodded. He got a look on his eye, and I knew what he was going to say. The library. So we went to the library and picked out a whole stack of books on rainbows and prisms. The librarian was new. She smiled and turned to the computer screen. Oh, look, she said. We're neighbors. I'm Miss Reed. I bought the house next door to yours. I moved in just last week. She seemed nice. I'm Annie. This is Mike, I said. Mike tugged on my sleeve, and that meant hurry up. He wanted to start working on the mystery. Well, come visit sometime, Miss Reed said. Okay, I told her. I flopped on the couch with a fat book, and I started reading out loud. A rainbow is made when sunlight is bent by raindrops in the air. A prism bends sunlight too. Mike said nothing. Instead, he gasped, "The rainbows are back!" I got up. I touched them. The rainbow showed on my fingers too. All 7 colors were there. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Then I thought of something. What time is it? I asked Mike. Well, Mike looked at his watch. 5 o'clock. Aha! It's the same time as before, I said. We didn't see the rainbows in the morning or at noon. We only saw them in the afternoon, after school. Mike nodded. Yeah. The sun, he said. Yes. I remember this poster at school. It must have to do with where the sun is. Like one person, we turned around and stared out the window. So where is it? Mike asked. I don't know. Let's go outside and look. We rushed outside. No wonder we couldn't see the sun from the family room. It's behind the house next door. The answer to our mystery is in that house, I said, and Mike nodded. At exactly 4:30 the next day, we rang the doorbell of Miss Reed's house, the new librarian. Annie, Mike, she said, you came for a visit. Come on in. We followed her inside, but before we could stop myself, the question burst from me. Miss Reed, do you have a prism in your house? Miss Reed looked puzzled. A prism? Why no, I don't think so. I was sad to hear that, but I didn't give up. Miss Reed could have a prism and not know it. She gave us lemonade and cookies. Then she asked if we'd like a tour of the house. Oh yes, Mike and I said at the same instant. Miss Reed showed us the dining room. No prisms here. Then we went into the living room. No prisms there. We took the stairs to the 2nd floor. The answer had to be up there. This is my music room, Miss Reed said, and she opened the door. My favorite part is my new chandelier. I just bought it. I had no idea what a chandelier was, but maybe that fancy light on the ceiling was it. But I didn't care. I was busy looking for prisms. On the floor, in the cabinet, on the walls. Then Mike grabbed my arm. The sun had come out from behind a cloud. Light streamed into the room. It hit the glass chandelier, and rainbows danced on the wall next to the window, just like in my family room. I ran to the window. Yes! I could see into my house and see into the family room. I could see the rainbows on the wall, too. For once, I had nothing to say, but Mike did. The glass chandelier is like a bunch of prisms, he yelled. I stared at him. It was the longest sentence I'd ever heard him say. What do you mean? Miss Reed asked. Look closely. So cool. Did you get that? I told her the whole story about the rainbows and Kelly's necklace and the library books. I told her about making the fort from the big box that Mike found outside. Big box? Miss Reed asked. Was it by my house? Yes, I said. The chandelier came in that box, she said. I looked at Mike and Mike looked at me. The box! The biggest clue of all was drawn on the side of the box. Some detectives we were. The end! So cool! I hope you enjoyed this book and I hope you liked seeing my prisms. If you have a clear crystal or a piece of glass that is multifaceted, go give it a shot. Go into a dark room with a flashlight or go over into the sun, beam it on the wall. Give it a shot, guys. Come back for more. Bye!